What do you love about climbing?
I don't know, I just really enjoy it because everything's unique. You know, it's not the same thing every time.
Learning movement and like technique and learning how to apply it to boulders and climbs to like solve problems that otherwise would be like very difficult with like if you don't have like just the pure raw strength to do them. Just having like a technical way to get around not being as strong as like guys basically.
Climbing is like so individualized. Anyone from the ages of like literally 2 to like 99 can climb, and it doesn't matter if you're like into competitive climbing or like outside or like multi-pitch and trad and stuff. It's like climbing is for everyone.
What I love about climbing is it's a physical chess game. I get bored easily, and climbing keeps me interested because physically I have to figure out moves, be strong enough to hold on, and mentally put the puzzle together in time before I peel off and fall.
One of the reasons is when it just makes me feel good physically and mentally. It's like one of those things, especially because I started after I lost my leg, so I wasn't really appreciating my body before. And after I lost my leg, I was trying to find something that I could do that wasn't painful. And I wasn't just like going to the gym and just lifting weights was boring to me. And once I tried climbing, once I kind of got addicted and couldn't stop. So I loved the community. I loved the physical aspect of it, the mental aspect of it, that we train indoors to go outdoors, that we have indoor competitions. It's just, there's so much about it that I love, honestly.
It taught me how to persevere. It also taught me how to deal with being uncomfortable, and it taught me how to be patient, and most importantly, the patience in which I might not have been able to understand or do a particular climb or move, but within 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, it just makes complete sense.
What is your biggest accomplishment?
I'd say my biggest accomplishment is either taking 11th at a World Cup twice, or winning nationals actually in open, or if we're just going like grade specific, climbing 514A.
When I won my first nationals, it was huge for me back then and still is because it really kickstarted all my success in climbing.
Everyone in my family getting them to climb, but also winning nationals, Flash and V10, doing the hardest I could do, being able to do the hardest routes in the world at that level for a female was huge. It's huge, while having a college degree and not just living out of my van doing other stuff. The bigger accomplishment after winning and getting sponsored and climbing pro was turning around and creating workshops where I could share and teach everybody every trick in the book that I figured out that worked.
Okay, it's weird because like it's a toss of yes. Like I've won medals, like I have an IFSC medal, so that was really huge. However, I think one, coaching has been a huge accomplishment, and being a good coach, I feel like not just like a coach to the youth, but like as an instructor, it's been really I don't know, fulfilling for me, where I feel that I'm sharing this thing that I love and I'm capable to teach it. So coaching, instructing, and then most recently setting has been something I've been very proud of, like putting up a route and having someone get on it and they have fun or they learn from it is probably like my biggest accomplishment.
One of the most classic and stout V12s in the world called Karma, and I've always loved that, the term and the phrase and also what it means. I always like to have good karma. So doing Karma in Fontainebleau in France is probably my highest achievement. Next to that, honestly though, when I saw one of my earlier students win nationals, that almost trumps anything I have physically done. Is when I felt that I helped someone else achieve a pretty lofty goal.
Have you always found competition to be synonymous with climbing?
No, climbing did not start out as a competition sport. Climbing started out as an adventure and exploration. where we simply tried to hike and climb when it got vertical, create gear and safety to be able to get to the top of something. It became competitive when we got sponsored because that's how you get more exposure and more people interested in the sport. Climbing is natural and adventurous in the outdoors. Yosemite, the mountains, all over the world, and nobody even knows how good you are or if there's a podium nearby and there's no audience. People just climb.
No. To me, competition was something that I discovered that went with climbing maybe 7 to 8 years after I started climbing. I didn't want any of my competition energy, which is aggressive and it doesn't allow for a lot of mistake. My competition side of me, that I didn't want that to permeate my climbing. I wanted to approach Zen and bohemian talk, hippie talk. I wanted to dance with the rock spirit rather than conquer the mountain or that wall.
It's like 50-50 for me. Like I'm from Vegas, so there's so much access to like outdoor climbing, like literally 10 minutes from my house, and that's like I love that as well. But I also really love the aspect or like really the community of the competition scene. Like sure, everyone is like against each other, you know, everyone's in their own competition, but like everyone's super supportive and like loves to see you succeed, and that's what I really love.
Yeah, I've always been competitive in all things, and I think I always picture climbing as being competitive whenever I think of it.
I haven't, mostly because I started climbing when I was really young from my parents, and we climbed outside very often. So I only got into competition later on.
No, what I like about about climbing is that it's a lot of the time it's competitive with yourself. There's like most of the time you're trying to reach the highest point that you've got, like you can go, not someone else. Like you're not really thinking about them that way. So I wouldn't say it's been hand in hand, but I do like what it's done and what it's added most recently within the years, because it never really was that. It wasn't like a competition.
Do you have any advice for somebody interested in the sport?
Yes. Definitely go ahead and access modern day YouTube's got so many things that can help you get fitter. But if you focus on technique rather than building strength, it's gonna help you in the long run for 2 reasons. You're gonna fall in love with figuring out why and how this move can be done rather than damn it, I'm not strong enough. So then it actually lets your mind relax and not have to be so performance based. You know, you can find, it's like, what am I missing type of like, so discover techniques, learn all the techniques and body positions and flexibility before you hyper focus on finger strength and fitness.
Do you have any advice for someone interested in the sport?
Yes, I would say if you're interested in climbing, like definitely get into it. And people, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh no, I'm afraid of heights, or something like that. Like there's a form of climbing for everyone. And the more, or at least for me, the more I did it, the more I fell in love with it. And yeah, climbing, it's just a great community. It's a great way to like push yourself. It's a great way to like set goals and just like get super yoked and strong. So yes.
Do you have any advice for someone interested in the sport?
I do. Climbing is a lifelong sport. So I hear a lot of people saying they started too late or they wish they could be better. Actually, I ran into 70-year-olds climbing. You can climb till you die. So anyone interested in the sport should just start. Don't judge yourself. Use it as a workout and take it as far as you want. If you want to competition climb pro, or just climb recreationally, it's a good way to stay in shape and have a lot of friends all over the world.
So do you think you'll ever age out of climbing?
might prove me wrong, right?
No.
Yeah. Right.
Never. Like, I literally, I'm gonna climb until I die. Like, it's amazing. Like, even when you are like 90 and frail, I can still project like a V2. Like, it's still gonna be fun, and it's still gonna be I'm still gonna have the best time.
I personally don't think I'll age out of climbing. I think I'll just get old and start climbing outside instead of competing. But I think I'll always enjoy the sport.
No, and that's like what I also love about climbing. You get to, like, and most recently, I just saw someone, they were in their 80s climbing. Then they come in here regularly, but also someone that just posted online how there was like a viral video about like a granny climbing. But like just working here in the gym, we get to see like a variety of climbers, and some of them are older. They've been climbing forever, and they're still coming in here regularly. This is another thing that like, it's kind of my life, so I don't see it. I would still be involved with it, and there's always routes that, you know, regardless of your physical ability, like your age, your whatever, you're gonna be able to get up here. Like that's the great thing about climbing is it's not just specifically for like tall, lengthy, like white male, whatever. It's like for everyone. There's routes and things that anyone can get on, and everyone's beta is different. So the way that we climb it is always different, depending on the person. So no, I don't see myself aging out of climbing. I think I found something that I kind of want to always be part of.
No, I don't think so. I like it too much, and I really like where I'm going. So I think if I can make a job out of it, I'd love to, and I'd just like to stick with it as long as I can.
About to turn 40, and I still like to answer when people ask me what's your favorite climb. I like to answer it all nerdy and dumb-like and say, well, I have yet to see it. So that's I don't know if I'm ever gonna age out. If there's just more stone out there to be discovered.
What is your motivation?
My motivation, that's a very good question, because I dare say that not too long ago I lost my motivation and I rekindled it. And I rekindled it discovering one simple thing. New areas. Go to a different area to climb. Don't frequent. Of course, if you're new to it, definitely frequent your local crag or your local gym. But to me, what motivates me is I wonder if I can climb sandstone. I've been climbing so much limestone, or I've been climbing so much granite. I wonder if I go to this area, which is pure limestone, and could I figure out? So to me, it's the curiosity to what is it going to feel like. That motivates me. So for that matter, any new area, it's not difficult either. It doesn't have to be the hardest thing or the tallest thing.
Do you have a favorite memory?
Yes, this one is actually happened like 2 weeks ago. I was climbing outside with like a bunch of friends and power screamed for the first time, which is like it's when you just do something really hard and you you just like let out a scream, and I've like it's the craziest thing, and it just shows you like your limit of your like physical potential. It was amazing.
How has climbing impacted your life outside of the gym?
It literally changed my life. Before this, before climbing, I wasn't really working in climbing at all. Like I wasn't competing, it was just a hobby. And I've switched my whole life, so it kind of just fits with climbing. So outside of the gym, well, it became my job, it became my dream, it became everything that I really wanted to focus on, like everything all my energy was going into. So it changed everything now. The way I eat, the way that like, I recover. There's certain things like, do I really want to go do that? Because the next day I might not go climb. So no, I don't really want to go do that. So like choosing what I choose, like my options on how I spend my time has definitely been influenced by climbing, and like my life outside of the gym has really been changed by climbing.
Are there any specific places you want to climb?
I'd love to go to Japan. It just seems like such an awesome place, and the community is great, and climbing is huge there, so I'd just love to see it.
Why do you climb?
I climb because I love the feeling when you're just like flowing on the wall. People talk about flow state all the time, and I just like climbing is when I feel the best. Like when you're just moving, when you are doing things that you like never thought you could do, that's the best. And climbing is like taken up, it's like consumed my life. Like every aspect of my life, I can like relate to climbing, and it's the most amazing feeling in the world.
How long have you been climbing?
I started climbing in graduate school. I started late compared to everybody else. I was around 23, and I just went out on the weekends for fun. That was 30 years ago. Then I went pro, and then I went back to work, had a couple kids, and now I'm still climbing. So I've gone in and out of climbing basically for 30 years.
Since the very first time I touched stone and climbed a Joshua Tree, I've been climbing 23 years. But I would say pretty much without stop, like 18 years at a pretty decent level.